Hi guys, my name is Zia, and today I'll be sharing my rendering process with you. So today we'll be rendering my two favorite characters in the whole wide world, Katsuki Bakugo and my OC, Ariana. They're both rivals, so they bicker and fight a lot. Anyways, let's start with the rendering process. So usually I'd like to take a bit of the skin tone, and then I'd go to the color wheel and choose the darkest color, or I could just pull up a Katsuki reference sheet from my reference window, and I could keep scrolling until I find one. There we go, we already found one. I usually take the shadow that is closer to his skin tone, and then I'd start rendering. So over here, as you can see, I chose this sunset background, and I think it matches really well. So our rendering is going to be requiring a lot of yellows and orange hues. But first, we're going to do the rendering completely normally. So I'd usually go for rendering right around this spot over here. And my bad, I'm rendering on the wrong layer again. So I have decided to divide the skin into 5 layers. Katsuki's hand, his face and neck, and then Ariana's hands, her face alone and her neck alone, for various reasons. One of them is to be able to edit or render easier. So let's start with Katsuki's face and his neck. I usually like to duplicate the layer and then clip it so that the rendering can go smoother. So as you can see with this brush that I'm using, it will blend in the colors basically. So the color itself is not like this, it could be darker, but it's blending in with the skin tone, causing it to kind of add this mixture between the colors. As you can see, some colors are lighter, some colors are darker. So I'd go around like this with the hair, because his little bangs, they really add a lot of shadows near his eyes. And then I'd also go on top of his eyelids, because usually there's a lot of shadow there as well, especially because of his hair. I'd like to add a little shadow under the eye as well. His scar, we'll deal with that later, but due to the background and the sunset, and as you can see, the sun is hitting them from their sides, so that means there's going to be a lot of light reflecting on his ear, on his cheek. His nose, the top of his nose will always have rendering, because the hair kind of covers his nose, or like the way his bangs form, they're always covering his nose. I like to also add a little tiny bit of shading at the corners of the mouth, and then his ears as well. I'd add to the bottom of his ear rather than the top. For one reason, the background that we're going to be rendering or using as a reference to render, is the light is hitting from the sides, as I said before. And then we move on to the bottom of his face. Usually I like to drag a slight line from where the neck is, as you can see where my pointer is at the moment, yeah? And then I drag it down to the neck, and then I stop there. His chin is not going to have much of a highlight or a render, except for a little bit. And then I'd especially add some rendering under his chin, because of the shadow that the chin casts on the neck below. Next up, we're actually going to be rendering the skin in even more depth. The side of his neck is going to be getting hit along with this part of his face. Now, the side of his face is going to have some shadow. As you can tell, his nose is going to be reflecting some shadow. His cheek is going to carry some shadow as well. And then we'd have a small little triangle over here. His fingers over here are going to have some reflective light as well. Now his face looks like cheese. We smudge the yellowness. I'm going to blend these in and show you the result. So I have finished the rendering for Katsuki so far, and I think he looks pretty great. So this is what I have done for Ariana so far. I've added exactly where the light should be hitting, and I think this is so far perfect unless I see some other mistakes that needs to be adjusted. So I want you to look at this very closely. Bakugo's side of the face is more orangey, while Ariana's is more yellowish, because on Ariana's side, there's a lot more yellow light hitting her. So now this is still not done yet. This is barely anything. Look here, we didn't even highlight anything, and it looks like it's just blended in peachy yellowish blush, and that's not what we want. That's not the effect that we want. We want it to look like it's hard light hitting onto her face, but we also want it to look smooth. So this is how Ariana looks like after I rendered her, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of lighting to her fingers. I think that's gonna actually add a nice touch. Yeah, I think it's kinda tying it together, but I have to like kind of smudge it all the way to the side so it doesn't kind of like give a too overwhelming effect. And I think it looks pretty good so far. A bit more shadow towards this area. And I think it's gonna be it actually for Ariana's skin rendering. This took hours to kind of get right. Ariana's skin is a little bit harder to do, especially because of the position that she's in. But I think I nailed it. I believe, I hope. I had to redo the rendering 3 times, by the way, because I wasn't happy with the rendering the first time. I need to add a little bit of darkness. This would add a lot more depth to her chest. It's a perfect little addition. So this is my skin rendering process with you. I hope you enjoyed it, and make sure to like and subscribe, support a small artist like me, and thank you guys for watching. Love you guys. Bye.